Come on, you sea rats! Get off your ship!
Tranny demons.
This is not going to end well.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill.
No! I will not submit to your treachery.
So you have chosen death.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
5 minutes later.
Welcome to hell, mother.
Hey guys, how are y'all unfortunate souls doing? It's your country boy Fireneck Dragon here, and look, I'm sorry if I sound a little bit depressed, but the problem is I watched the Little Mermaid live action remake a week ago, and a big ass hole where my heart was supposed to be opened up after leaving the movie theater out of pure disappointment, and like any good old country breakup song, I sped away in my pick-em-up truck to fill up that void with some Hellfire whiskey, cause damn it, that movie was one of the most dry husk movies I've ever seen from Disney in a while. Now, since y'all caught me in my Mr. Miyagi depression scene, let me tell you a story about this disappointing movie.
Let's just play. We pulled off these songs that I think are really magical.
We ain't found
Have you not heard the scuttlebutt? No, the gossip, the buzz, the who said what, who does that, yeah, the scuttlebutt.
What the
The songs we've written really do expand what Little Mermaid is.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Now, when I originally became interested in seeing this movie for review purposes, I genuinely thought that maybe I was just going to watch another okay Disney live-action remake that is going to try to change the story and style a little bit in order to set itself apart from its animated counterpart, but instead I found out I was deceived by the Dark Lord Mickey Mouse into watching what amounts to as a live-action copy-paste of the same story we've already seen in the animation, except lazier.
What? No!
I mean, I hate to repeat the same thing I said in the Cleopatra video, but the Disney producers behind this movie really scraped the bottom of the barrel on this film by making the same movie with real people and CGI, but with none of the old Disney magic of the original that makes it so nostalgic to people, even to this day.
That bad, huh?
In fact, I think this is how Disney reacts to people these days when you call them out on their lazy bullshit with their live-action remakes in public.
Jeez, rat poison. Duh. What do you guys think, I'm crazy or something? This is a no-brainer. Damn!
Now that's what I call a curveball.
Sneaky Franks.
However, I do have some pet peeves I want to point out about this movie, so let's go ahead and do it, alright? So my first complaint I have about this movie is with its length. So to give you some comparison, the original Little Mermaid movie is about 1 hour and 23 minutes long and gave you that good old Disney magic we used to call being entertained by good animation considering its short runtime. However, the writers did a fantastic job in fleshing out Ariel, Prince Eric, Ursula, King Triton, and other supporting characters very well by giving them simple yet relatable motivations that could be quickly explained away in order to get the audience to focus on what mattered in the main plot, Ariel and Prince Eric's character development.
Exactly.
The whole purpose of the journey both characters undertake is to teach both of them the harsh lesson that reality brings on them, which is that love is a beautiful and wonderful experience, but that it will always demand a personal sacrifice from the individual in order to realize it. In the case of our main characters, it's leaving behind their perceptions of their old world and adapting to their new reality while completing trials throughout their journey in order to prove through their fearless courage that their love can overcome all, even the evil witch Ursula, whose many attempts to shatter their love fail at every turn.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Meanwhile, the 2023 live-action remake is a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Jesus Christ!
Now, I'm sure a lot of you are asking the same question I did when I watched this movie, and that is, why is it so damn long? Well, the answer is quite simple, actually. The producers of this movie decided to do a minor change to Ariel, besides her skin color, by making it to where the second she makes the deal with Ursula, she also loses her memory of the fact that she must fulfill her side of the deal by making the prince fall in love with her in 3 days without her using her voice, except that doesn't matter because Sebastian and Flounder were there when she lost her memory, and a couple minutes later you see Sebastian reminding her of what she has to do anyway.
That makes no sense.
You donut!
This then gives the producers the excuse to do really long and boring sequences of repeating the same scenes from the original film by adding boring sections in between to fill those time gaps where either Blariel and Prince Eric are talking about shit that is irrelevant to the plot, or they are out of the CGI palace gallivanting across their island resort in Jamaica that Disney rented for this film, because let's be honest for one moment, when you watch this movie, did any of you notice that not a single one of the extras or named human characters in this film had a single speck of dirt on them? They're all squeaky clean. This story is set either during the late 18th century or early 19th century, and they are living in a fucking hot and humid tropical environment. How does that work in a time that was well documented to have many dirty people and rampant diseases, Disney?
You idiot!
Anyway, the remainder of those filler minutes is used to give us Halle Bailey singing an original song that I ended up enjoying quite a bit, surprisingly, and we also got a terrible version of the Kiss the Girl song, and probably one of the most disliked Disney soundtracks I ever heard in my life. And because I felt like you didn't get enough of a taste of it in transition, I'm gonna give you another sample, but this one is a visual form of the musical waterboarding I had to endure listening to this for 2 minutes straight.
Remember the swamp? Remember my song in the swamp when I was like, whap, chicka, whap, whap, chicka, whap.
I remember.
Well,
This is the worst.
Take it down. Ice the bitch.
Now, in terms of other problems this movie has, besides what I just mentioned, is that the visual and musical presentation of the songs and scenes we've already been exposed to in the animation are being done in a terribly lazy fashion where all the great emotions we used to feel when we heard the original songs are swept away and replaced with disappointment, because you can easily tell that there was not much passion put into this film compared to the animation.
Oh boy, this is bad.
To start off, the overall visuals in this film are very dark and grainy, to the point where even the lighter shades of colors are being severely diminished due to the overall dark realistic color palette that they're trying to portray. In fact, this is most evident in the underwater scenes where they choose to go with this very realistic coloring look to deep sea, and look, I would be fine with it if it wasn't for the fact this isn't a dark retelling of the Little Mermaid. It's a children's film, so why don't you brighten the colors a little bit to keep the kids' attention?
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Also, the CGI in this film ranges from okay to just downright lazily atrocious, and I mean, there are points where you can even tell in some of the close-up shots that Halle Bailey wasn't trained for long enough in making her upper body movements look convincing enough to make people believe that she was moving like an actual mermaid, so this causes a massive increase on the CGI budget because you now need the editors to focus on creating brand new frames in order to compensate for that shortfall, but I honestly think that Disney gives zero f***s about overworking their CGI artists to death.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
Now, if you want to help out those poor artists from being overworked on shit live-action remakes for Disney, then how about you do what you're seeing on screen right now so that one day one of them might see this video and decide to leave that terrible activist company once and for all for the sake of their mental health.
Fun and good for your health.
To get back on track, I do want to make the disclaimer that I thought Halle Bailey's acting as Ariel wasn't bad by any means, but because she is such a young actress, she will not have enough experience to pull off looking convincing in her movements and verbal expressions in a big budget film where her character will be constantly interacting with a massive amount of CGI characters and elements throughout most of its runtime, compared to her more experienced peers like Melissa McCarthy or Javier Bardem, who can make people believe that the green ball they're talking to is an actual crab or fish without breaking the illusion.
In other words,
Not good, but not terrible.
One more thing. I know I've said my piece many times regarding the music in this film being soulless and lazy due to the fact that all they did was give the old songs the good old modernization treatment by turning them all into Broadway musical bits. And look, Halle Bailey's singing voice is not bad at all, but the thing that makes me dislike these songs is that the sincerity of the lyrics she and the other cast members are singing in the songs is completely missing. Every time they sing a lyric, it feels like they're singing for the sake of doing so because it's their job. And in other words, what I'm trying to say here is that they don't believe a single word that they are singing in those lyrics.
This is absolutely correct!
Now compare that to the animation and you can see that every lyric the cast members sang back then had that emotional drive to get you immersed into the inner thoughts and feelings of the characters the animators were showing you on the screen so that you could actually give a crap about the situations they were going through in the story. Hence, this is how the producers back then got their audience hooked on following and caring about the plot of their movie.
Genius. Pure genius.
Look guys, my honest rating for this movie is a 5 out of 10 simply because I personally think that this movie is just another lazy Disney live action cash grab that the company is using in order to milk as much nostalgia money out of the adults who once saw the animation as children and to also do their usual activist pandering that every big media company does these days so that their woke ESG investor overlords can give them more funding to produce more movies.
Yes, you're probably right, Brian. Such scum.
Furthermore, the CGI visuals and music are mostly dull and soulless due to everyone involved focusing their passions on activism and getting that paycheck rather than making a good product somebody would want to watch, and the story is almost a word-for-word copy of the original animation, but it's only longer in order to add in extra scenes that contribute nothing to the overarching plot except add more minutes to the movie so it's in optimal duration where they can guarantee an efficient amount of consecutive back-to-back open showings in theaters so they can make more profit even if they know their product is gonna be a box office failure.
You're not very bright, are you?
No, I'm not. I would like to be, but I'm not.
In other words, ladies and gents, the once great pioneering paragon of animation is now a shadow of his former self, and the only way it will be restored to its old glory is if the current problematic activist personnel are fired and replaced with competent people whose only goal is to create great and timeless stories that only focus on perfecting the art form rather than using it for nefarious ideological agendas.
Hell yeah!
With that, friends, I sincerely hope you enjoyed my honest take on this film, and if you want to find out when a new video of mine comes out, then please make sure to check out my community post tab on my YouTube channel page or my Twitter page, which is where I'm most active these days, and please let me know what you thought of this film in the comments. Other than that, I wish you all a wonderful day, and Namaria.